Hi, today we're going to do a DIY facial at home. So I'm going to keep it very simple, just with a few core products. So this is something that you can do with ease at home. So what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of this oil cleanser, and when you use it in the shower it's very easy to foam up in your hands. When I'm doing a really luxurious facial, what I like to do is whip it up with a mask brush, and the more you work it, the creamier it gets and the more luxurious it is. So that's something really lovely you can do at home to give yourself a little bit of a spa feeling rather than just rushing through and cleansing your face in a rush. So I'm going to apply that on my skin with the brush. So I'd probably suggest, if you're going to give yourself this mini facial at home, that you consider doing it in the evening. That way you can leave those products on your face while you're resting, and they can really absorb quite well. And then you might even need to wash your face if you're just at home until sort of midday to late afternoon. Those of you that are used to having my facials, you'll know that that's generally what I recommend. So I'm going to wet my hands and work that in. Nice circular motions. Make sure that you get into all the places that you wouldn't normally get. If I was doing this on myself and I wasn't on camera, I'd probably have a towel wrap on me, so I'd work all the way down onto my décolletage, just like I would if I was doing a professional facial. So because this cleanser has a PHA in it, and it's going to help dissolve the little bonds that keep those skin cells together on the surface, it'll help lift anything that's redundant and dry and not useful anymore. So you just want to give it a minute to really help work for you. And then we just remove. So you can use a face washer at home. You can use something like these Skin O2 wipes. Please no baby wipes. That's not great to use, but any sort of cloth and water is perfectly fine. Okay, then we move on to stage 2. So for stage 2, what we're going to use today is the salicylic mask from OR. If you happen to have an enzyme mask at home, that would be an alternative to this. It works in a slightly different way, but the process would be the same. So with this salicylic mask, I usually say about a 20-cent piece. You just have to play around and work out what's right for you. If you're working all the way down onto the décolletage, of course you'd need a little bit more. And then you don't have to mix it, but I like to mix it either with a little bit of hydrating mask or the multi-oil. I'm going to use a tiny bit of multi-oil today. And I'm just going to mix that into a lovely smooth consistency. So these clay masks aren't like the old-fashioned ones that used to dry your face out. You don't really want your face to be drying out and cracking up. It only needs to be on for 5 to 10 minutes. And I can advise you which is the best for you. So I'm just going to take my mask brush and apply that Doesn't have to be super thick. You'll notice I'm working over the brows as well. This mask isn't just for congested or acne skins, even though it's really good for that. You can use it on mature skins and it's going to help refine and smooth and brighten. It's a beautiful pink colour. And that's stage 2, our salicylic mask, which is going to help refine and smooth and decongest. So you just spend a few minutes, sit back, relax, look at a book, and I'll see you again in a few minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes now, and I'm going to take my salicylic mask off. If you've got quite a congested skin, then you'll probably leave it closer to the 10-minute mark. It's important to remember though, don't let it dry out. So if you're feeling that it is starting to get a little bit dry, the best thing you can do is spray it with some sort of atomizer. And that just keeps it lovely and hydrated and continues to work without drying out too much. So now we just work our way through removing the mask. Again, just a simple washer or a wipe, whatever works for you. When I do my professional treatments, sometimes I'll be using a hot towel to remove it. So that is something that you could do at home. You could wet a towel and put it in the microwave and just pop it on your face for 5 seconds and then remove the mask with that. So you can see I'm working without a hairband along my hairline, because I like to work into my hairline and make sure that I'm getting absolutely the full benefit of my treatment. But you're welcome to use a hairband if you need to use one to keep your hair back. So I think there we are, that's all done. Now, what I would normally do if I was doing a professional treatment is put on 1 or more serums and infuse them with my equipment. An alternative you can do at home is to use your favourite serum and pop a few drops on your fingers and press it in. Press, 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 press. Then you can massage it in just with your hands. You might have a tool at home like a jade roller or some of those stones. I've got these Kansa ones, I sell those too if that's something that you're interested in. I'm going to take a couple of small drops of multi-oil, pop that on my skin and just massage away. So you might just have one of these tools, that's quite okay. So this helps get your circulation moving, which gets oxygen and nutrients out to those outer layers of the skin. It helps infuse your serum. Okay, it helps with lymphatic drainage. And if you're a sinusy sort of person, if you're prone to congestion in your sinuses, then you want to do a little bit of drainage. And you can do that with your fingers or your stone or your massage tool. And then you want to work that down the throat here. And then out along towards the underarm area where your lymph nodes are. So you do that as long as you feel you have time for, really. There's no, pick a time when, like I said, at the end of the day, hopefully you're not stressed and you can have a few minutes to yourself. And then the easiest way to end your facial is with the hydrating mask here. And we just work that in. A little bit like as if you were putting on a moisturiser. You can even wet your hands a little bit, just to get that last bit of moisture in there. Now you can see that I've got a little bit of residue. That's fine, it is a mask. So I'd suggest you let that sit for 10 minutes before you try and massage anything else in. But this little hydrating mask here is actually quite good because you can leave it on. There's no need to remove it. And really I find you don't need to put a moisturiser on afterwards. So you can just leave it be and off you go to bed or relax and watch some TV, anything like that. And that is a simple version of doing your own facial at home. I can offer you an alternative though. So I have these little kits that I make up, and in them I also have some professional sheet masks that you can add in probably once every 3 to 4 weeks for a bit of luxury. So I'll go and get those and I'll show you how to use that. So a variation on the standard facial could be where you give yourself a little bit more nourishment and you add in a few more vitamins or collagen or nutrients into your facial every 3 to 4 weeks, and that's a good alternative to professional facials when you can't have them at the moment. So what you would do for that once a month or so facial, you would do a good cleanse, you do your salicylic mask, you do any serums and a little bit of massage, and then in my mask kits you can get something like this, a Estamax professional mask. Now this isn't like the $3 ones that you buy at Kmart. You really do get what you pay for. So these are very simple to use, and you want to give yourself a good 15 to 25 minutes for one of these. And I find you can put them on in the mirror, but then it's really great to recline back and relax. So you might lie down in your bed or you might recline in a recliner. So they come already pre-cut out. And it's simply a case of unfolding it and popping it on. So you don't need to worry about which side with these cellulose ones. There are some other professional masks where you have to worry about which side to use. These ones are all infused in the sheet. So you want to just put it on evenly. They're quite wet, these ones. So you will find that you might get a little bit of dripping down here. And just place it so that everything is there. And there'll still be some serum left in the bottom of these pouches, so you want to pull that out. And again, great for everywhere in the décolletage, but also good for the hands and up your arms, which makes it feel like it's much more of a spa treatment instead of just a little mini facial. So just to recap, you can do your standard salicylic and hydrating mask facial once a week. And every 3 to 4 weeks, you can alternate instead, and you can use the sheet mask at the end. And that's going to infuse, it's going to calm, hydrate, really give your skin that glowing boost so that you can maintain it until you come back to see me and I can do all the work for you. Enjoy! So it's been about 20 minutes now and I've had some nice quiet time to myself. It's time to take the sheet mask off. You can tell usually it starts to get just that tiny bit dry, and it's so easy, it just peels off. So any residue serum, you just want to give it the gentlest of massage, not a heavy massage. And then you just leave that be. There's no need usually to put a moisturiser on. You can put your eye cream on if you have one that you like and dab that around. But I find my skin feels really lovely and calm and cool, and then I toddle off to bed and I wake up in the morning feeling even more revitalised. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. If you've got any questions for me, please send them through. And again, if you've got any pictures, I'd love to see them.